The one that you came up with was really good, and that was...
How do we keep...
No, the other one.
What?
Like, wasn't it something like... Oh gosh, fill me in.
Well, the only two I came up with was how did it start and how do we keep the long distance relationship going?
I thought you said something about like, you know, has it been easy or like has it been continuous?
Oh, well, yeah, that was part of the explanation of how do we keep the long distance relationship going. And to be honest, it is hard work.
And that doesn't even begin to really summarize it. It is incredibly, excruciatingly difficult. It is really hard.
Yeah, before everything was going great guns through 2006, and in early 2007, I had a crisis of confidence because this has been going on for 2.5 years now. And I thought, this is wonderful, this is marvelous. We're putting in the effort, we're phoning each other, we're writing each other emails 2-3 times a day. Devoted to each other and all that, and then I got to thinking, well, what can I offer her? What, 2 to 4 weeks a year, if that? I thought she deserved so much more. What can I do? And it just started a toxic slide which ended the first pass of the relationship, and I take full responsibility for it myself because I just fumbled. I really did. That's all there is to say about it. She kept me appraised of all the developments in her life, and I kept her appraised of all the developments in mine. We still stayed cordial and all that sort of thing, but that was it for long distance relationship Mark 1. And do you want to take over from what happened after that?
Alright, so I was in college when this happened, so I just kept going to college. You know, what else was I gonna do? And around this time I also found out that I had PCOS. I mean, like, he didn't know that I was going through all that crap at the same time, but it was really rough because around the time that he decided to call it quits was right around the time where I started seeking a diagnosis for this mystery ailment that I had and why my hair kept falling out and why I had acne everywhere, and like I just was not really feeling like myself. Oh, and my weight was completely out of control. Like, and you know, I know that it wasn't because of any of those things.
No.
Like, I know it wasn't because of any of those things.
No.
Because, and you don't have to tell me, I know it wasn't. Like,
I'm telling them.
Yeah, he's not that kind of person, like, at all. He genuinely likes me as a whole, and not just because of what I look like.
But you are adorable. She's adorable. People have commented on this.
The internet says it's true.
The internet says it's true. And for once, I agree with the internet.
But, yeah, but I mean, I wasn't feeling so hot, and my health wasn't so great, and I just didn't look so hot, and that made me feel even worse, if you know what I mean. Especially anybody who has PCOS, you definitely know what I mean. Or any chronic illness, especially if it takes you a while to figure out what's the issue. It's such a long journey from the point where you start realizing there's something wrong to the point where you get a diagnosis. And for me, it was like a 5-year process. And I was right in the thick of it when that happened. And I was going to school and all this other stuff, and I had to change majors and blah, blah, blah. It was just rough. My mom has this saying about me, and I will probably put a bleep in here, but she says that I'm the kind of person that can fall in really awful and come out smelling like roses. I'm an expert at turning lemons into lemonade. You know, I was like, well, whatever, I'll figure this out. I got into another relationship, got a nice apartment. Everything was going all right. You know, I was teaching voice lessons on the side in addition to, you know, the other jobs I was working. I found myself around 2010, 2011.
I was gonna say early 2000, late 2009, early 2010 maybe?
2010, okay, so
yeah.
Right around the time I was about to graduate from college. Like, we had stayed in contact that whole time.
Yeah.
The whole time we talked to each other, it was non-romantic, like during this period, because I'm always like really respectful of the people that I'm dating. Like, I would not have done that to Dave, no. Like at all. Like, I would have stopped that dead in its tracks. And Dave was being real cool by letting me continue to talk to Nigel in spite of everything. And we were very open about, you know, our histories and stuff. But the issue with me and Dave, and this was completely independent of Nigel, was that like Dave and I were just kind of mismatched. He was a genuinely nice person. But like physically we were kind of mismatched, and like we just had different goals. Like I wanted to travel and see the world and eat weird food and do weird things, and you know, he just wanted to like eat Barberton chicken. Like
Barberton chicken is not the best chicken, no matter what anyone else says. All right.
You're gonna start a war with people from Barberton now. That's a place in Ohio, if you've never heard of it. Anyway, we were just kind of growing apart organically, me and the person that I was with. And it really kind of came to a head when, honestly, this is gonna sound super cheesy, but when Prince William and Kate Middleton got married, I was like, everybody else, I was watching it on TV and I was like, I want to be there. Why can't I be there? You know, and I wanted to be in London where the party was and like hang out with people. And you know, here's my boyfriend at the time, like, oh, why would you want to do that? Like, let's go eat some Barberton chicken, basically. Like, you know, and there's nothing wrong with that. There's like, seriously, to me, there's nothing wrong with people wanting to like, you know, just be homebodies, stay home. And,
No.
you know what I mean? Like, that's who he was, and there's nothing really wrong with that. It's just who he was didn't really match who I was. So even though he got along really well with all my family and my friends, and he was a really nice guy, like, if it just doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know? I broke up with him, and right around the same time I broke up with him, like, he comes in, like, he does this. Like,
I bird dog right in there.
he does this. Like, this isn't even, like, this may be like the first time, but it's not the only time that he's done this, okay? So, like, I broke up with Dave, and all of a sudden I was just like, hey there, I'm British and I'm hot, what's up?
I never said that.
No, he probably said it way more eloquently, like.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
What would your approximation of that be?
Well, hello there, Heather. I've got an accent, and I'm ready to use it.
Something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got a voice like silk, so like over the phone, I'm just like, what chance do I have? Like, seriously.